Well, we can now speak to Rina Shah. She's a conservative commentator at Relax Strategies, a political consulting firm, and she joins us now on Skype from Reston in Virginia. Rina, great to have you back on Al Jazeera. I want to start with this Republican briefing today. Is the president trying to do damage control right now within his own party?
You know, I don't think the president is even at that step yet. I think he is right now going through the motions of figuring out how to cover up for himself. And it's very clear to me, and it is my professional opinion, that the president is lying. He says the intelligence was not given to him by the intelligence community because they did not deem it credible. This is the same intelligence community, our American intelligence community, that the president has repeatedly said cannot be trusted, works against him. So it's very rich, actually, that he is now saying that they are the reason that he was not informed. He has a lot of questions to answer. He has many a Republican on Capitol Hill right now scratching their heads, wanting real answers from the White House about whether this information of the Afghanistan bounty was in his presidential daily briefing, whether he and the vice president were briefed, and he's saying no, they were not, and who knew and when did they know? But most importantly, very, very important, is that how are we going to hold Putin accountable? And even more important, who is protecting American soldiers right now? These are the questions the congressional Republicans have for him. These are the exact questions that former Vice President Dick Cheney's daughter, who is Liz Cheney, the congresswoman from Wyoming, a Republican, has posed to the White House publicly.
Well, Rina, it isn't just Republicans who are scratching their heads on Capitol Hill. I see Senate Democrats are now also demanding a briefing, unsurprisingly. As you say, there are so many questions that need answering here. Is the White House or the president obliged to give one?
Look, that is, something we should look at history for. These past few years, this president has felt himself more important and more powerful than his equal branches. We have three branches of government here that are co-equal in nature. And the fact is, this president does not see it as so. So he does not feel the need to answer these tough questions from our elected representatives. He is going to push back as hard as ever because this is a massive scandal, one that is being said is far greater in magnitude than the Ukraine scandal, which looked to me outright from the beginning. But this is really, really large because it's treasonous. It was just earlier this month that the president stood in front of our West Point cadets, those graduates, while knowing potentially, and I think it's true, that there was a bounty on their heads.
Rina, Trump's regard for Vladimir Putin is nothing new. So what happens next here? Just how far could this fallout go?
We have a very noisy media cycle here. We have constant distractions, whether you're looking at the protests. Republicans are blaming on Democrats and accusing Democrat presidential contender, former VP Joe Biden, of paying for the bails of arsonists and looters. And so we've got that going on. We've got John Bolton's book. We've got now so many seem to be leaking out of the White House. The president propping up white supremacy, it seems. There is a lot of noise here. I would not be surprised if this were argued in the court of public opinion, as the president likes to do, and say that this is a select group of people who have not made him aware of this, and therefore he is not at fault.
Rina, you're a former Republican strategist yourself. How would you play this, given the enormity of this scandal?
Well, look, this is a tough one for any Republican running anywhere in the country, particularly at the congressional level. It is really hard to see this for what it is, because when the Republican National Committee basically says that the president is our leader, he is somebody that should not be questioned. If you are not in lockstep with the Trumps and this Trump administration, then you have no business calling yourself a Republican. So any candidate that wants to even criticize this scandal, see, look, that's why Congresswoman Liz Cheney, she's just asking the questions. She's not issuing direct, harsh statements that any elected representative should. This is what we see of the Republican Party today in the year 2020, a party that completely has coalesced around their supreme leader and allows him to act in a dictatorial manner. So it makes it extremely difficult for any candidate to even be delicately wording how they may feel about this situation. In fact, it makes the races all the more tougher, and it should not be that way.
Rina Shah there, a conservative commentator speaking to us from Virginia. Always great to get your thoughts here on Al Jazeera, Rina. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.